Good morning, everyone. Today, I just want to take the time to teach everyone about something that's called interpersonal relationships. Today, I'm just going to go over the top three types of interpersonal relationships and also describe why it's different from one another, how it's quite different. So, let's get into it. So, why is it important for us to form relationship? As us being human beings, um, we always build bonds in relationship with people that are friendships, family, or even on the intimacy level with another person. So usually, as we form these relationships, it usually comes naturally, especially when we were young, at an early age, and as we start to grow and develop over time to adults or older teens. So it usually always comes naturally, and it's always good to have at least one person in your life to support you and encourage you. It all depends on, like, everybody comes from a background that's different. So sometimes people maybe have like one person, and maybe people got a big support system. And I feel like one thing that's in common is like it's always good to have a person that you can rely on, a person that you trust that will be there for you throughout what you're going through. It could be good or either bad. And usually, when we form these relationships with people, especially strong friendships, especially being going to school together, for example, high school, usually it automatically click. Those friendships just click automatically because, for example, you could be talking about a math problem in class or just doing group projects, and then you just get to talk on them on a personal level, and you just click and you create these great, genuine friendships. So usually, friendships and relationships are basically overall a course of happiness and living full of life too. For example, I have people in my life that make me happy, and I feel like it's just full of life because you get to grow and encourage one another and just be there for each other. And that's just kind of like what love is, loving and caring for one another. First kind of intercultural relationship is called is basically family. So we're basically talking about the bloodline, people that are basically that would be considered related to us. So people that are blood family, it refers in the household, such as like a family four or a family six, based on how big your family is. So people that are living in your household that you're actually like related to. And also it goes down the line based on generations, which is extended family, for example, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and even other close family relatives. So, based on these family relationships, as people say, that family always comes first. So, it's basically a commitment to care and to be responsible for another within the household. No matter what happens, you're there for that person because family always comes first. And like I was saying before, that everybody's different based on where we come from and how we grow up. Everyone's family different, but it's like still the same type of love of being there for them, supporting them, and fighting for one another. So another thing that I want to talk about is called romantic relationships. As most of us probably already know, you can see it in movies, or you get to see it from your parents or other relatives or your grandparents. You know, having romantic relationships or being married for a quite time. So basically, for romantic, it's based on commitment and love, and it's going to be different types of love categorized in the different type of relationships we're going over today, where love is goes to a point of extent for somebody. Extent, for example, romantic love is based on, like it says here, passion, commitment, intimacy towards this person that you have deeper affection for, an attachment to another person that you care deeply about. As other people, it's like dating to marry, especially in our teenage relationships. We want to date to marry. We want to be with somebody that we love, we care about, that we're very affectionate of, and we want to marry them in the near future. For example, if someone being in love with somebody, would be that person that you have compassion for and that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And one of the next things is online relationships. So this is probably one of the controversial topics to talk about, especially in today's generation and especially in the world today. It's going to be pros and cons about online relationships, all depending if it's romantic or even friendships. So people can meet online on social media, like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, or even Discord, for example. and especially playing games too, games that has video chat, texting, and where you could contact that person and actually hear their voice, and also see them too, which is they use for Discord. Here, technology has improved quite a bit. As I said, that people can meet online, social media, and by playing games, and it's based on building a trust level. So, especially during COVID, where we was locked down and we didn't have really contact because we couldn't go outside, we had technology where we was able to text one another, FaceTime, talk to each other, and even meet new people. Especially, for example, Instagram also suggests people from your contacts or people that might be in your area because it also use your location. But it's also about the safety of others as well, based if you have romantic relationships as well, and how far it could go, and also about long distance because you could be somebody can be in the United States and someone can be in the UK. So it's all about building that trust level. So online relationships is a little bit different from, online romantic relationships, especially for friendships too. It's all about being safe and just building a trust level with that person. So you always got to keep in mind and be mindful about this type of relationship. But for some people, will probably disagree that, when they probably meet somebody online and meet later on and they spend the rest of their life together. So that's just basically what online relationships where they could have the opportunity to engage with people you care about and respond with personal messages as well. So being able to contact that person whenever you like because, technology has extended and you have the opportunity to do so. So as we went through the three types of the intercultural relationships, what did we learn from this? And I feel like based on these three types of relationships, it all comes with love. It all comes about building and forming a relationship based on our humanistic need, where we care for a person, we encourage one another, and we go to create these bonds with one another, where we can share and just share the happiness and joy that we have for one another. And it's good to have at least one person by your side because it's better than having none. And I feel like this is important for humans to have interactive communication with people that surrounds them because we all need each other at the end of the day. Like, communication is very important in today's society, especially when we meet one another and interacting with one another. And it just makes a really big difference, especially in today's world. And I just thank you for listening to this presentation.